Welcome back, Rec Room players, and thank you for joining this live stream. We'll be building in JadeKVR's room today again. last week we didn't get this far, and we've made a lot of progress. So this is basically what it looks like compared to what we had last time. I did build the castle in the last stream. I'm finishing that up today. We kind of added a little more steps. We have the boss coming in here, and then we have some really good props here as well from the last level, which I haven't shown you yet, but it's coming along pretty nicely, and I hope you guys will enjoy this stream. Ask questions. As I'm building, I'll explain what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to take a look at my comments real quick. Alright, so since I just got started, I'm just going to go over a little couple of things at what I'm doing here. So this is our boss. This is kind of represents what Jade is. So we have kind of elements that represent who our YouTubers are and what they love, and kind of combined it in a theme that they like. So right now we're designing kind of going off of a World of Warcraft theme here. But she like wanted this toy soldier to be the boss. So he's going to be like a little mini boss, and he's going to be like sitting in front of this door. He's going to come down, smash the ground here, and then we're going to have a couple of steps like fall off over here in this direction using gizmos, and then they're going to have to try to find their way through this little area here to get to the boss, to beat the boss. So that is going to be really cool. I can't wait to actually have those effects going on right now. Mortimer is actually putting that together. So that's going to be pretty cool. We grabbed these props from the last level that we had, and Grandpa actually made some of these. We made them a little bit more simpler than the last room because this is going to be a heavy circuit room, so we kind of wanted a little more space, so we kind of cut down on the detail here. But that's okay because they're kind of up and they're like a side element. The castle has a lot more detail, so we're going to be finishing that up today. Yeah, so it has come pretty far from the last stream from Saturday, but we actually started on the next two levels too, but I'm not going to show you that today. But I'm just going to show you this room pretty much today. I might step in the first level, because the first level is pretty much done though. But I'm going to take a look at my comments. Oh, actually, a lot of this will be decorational, absolutely. If they're not already, actually, let's just check here real quick. And I'm checking the objects here. So how I'm gonna make this decorational? Like, some people who are watching right now might not know what decorational means. So there's a lot of things that we can do in a room to optimize a room to make it have more space, so we can work within that space. So right now, we did combine these. We haven't necessarily optimized it completely like we should. We will be doing that, but I'm going to go over how to do that right now. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to pull up my maker pen, and I'm going to go to configure. And the configure button has the gear symbol right here. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to point at the object that I want to make decoration. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. My palette opens up. I got these like 4 things going on here, these 4 options. So I have decoration, which allows players to go through and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your room. Environmental allows players to walk on and not be able to walk through. And physical allows objects to fall to the floor and play like physics in a room. And then sticky allows objects to like stick, so they can like stick to your body and stuff. But we want decorational because we know that the players won't really interact with these at all, and it will save us space in the room. So I'm going to press on decorational here. And that makes it decoration. So now it's decorational, so I can like walk through these and so forth. I'll go over a couple things here. So like respawn, like if we wanted one these buildings to respawn back into a location, we can actually set that that respawn timer here. I'm not going to do that because there's no reason to do that here, but if you like had a physical item that was like being thrown around in a room, you can set that here. You can edit tags as well, and if you have like a physical item or a decorational item that you want players to hold in their hands when they're respawning, you can add the tag here and then add the tag to the respawn point so that the players can spawn with that tag. So that's pretty cool too. So we're gonna go back. So now these are decorational. I'm actually gonna make these decorational as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and press my configure button here. Yep, those are decorational already. Go see. This is different too. This should have been optimized. Is that optimized? Ooh, that it's not merged with anything here. So what I'm going to do is that this one didn't get merged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here. So I'm going to select this group. And then I'm going to select this group. Oh, that group's frozen. Let's unfreeze that group. And then select that group. And select that group. And you notice that there's 3 little dots that pop up. So since the 3 little dots pop up, we want to click on those little dots there. And then it says merge shapes. Let's go ahead and merge them. And I can you can notice that as I'm pointing my pointer cursor, it gets darker. So that means I'm selecting it. It's off, I'm not selecting that. So I'm going to go back on this and select that. And now this has been merged. Now if I want to demerge something, I can go into edit mode and click on these individual items here, select. And these 3 little dots pop up. Now, if the 3 little dots don't pop up, you can deselect something and select something, and then the 3 dots will pop up again, and then you can go ahead and click on those and split it. So this will become its own different group. I'm not going to do that right now, but I just wanted to show you that. Go ahead and freeze that by pressing the freeze tool. There we go. All right, I'm going to take a look at my comments, see if I got any questions here. All right, guys. Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear all those questions. I won't necessarily be going over gizmos today, but you definitely want to use a let's say, let's go. Let me go to gadgets. You definitely want to use a variable chip to use gizmos. This basically turns on gizmos, and a wave chip for an up and down gizmo to make a gizmo go up and down or reverse. So these 2 chips are very important for gizmos. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to get started here. So what I'm doing right now is I had an actual issue when I was actually building this castle. Since we don't have a mirror tool quite yet, so I did a little bit of a trick here. So since I'm kind of working with a kind of a real interesting round shape, it's kind of hard to mirror this. So what I did was I took this shape here. So let me go ahead and unfreeze that. Go back into select shapes. So I'm going to select all these. Ooh, I need to go back into edit and go into select. So what I did here was I select all these shapes here. Get in here. And then I cloned it. And then I reversed it just like so. So I just turned it upside down, and then I moved all the objects to the top part of the clone object, and then I moved it over there. So that's how I got that reverse look, and that's why it looks very similar to the other one. All right. Yeah, so that's a little neat trick on that end. But I'm still not done with this structure yet. You can see I need to pull this down and so forth. So if I go ahead and go into done, and then I go into unfreeze this object, and then go back into edit. I can touch these individual layers. If I go to my manipulator tool, manipulate, you see this little button here, the pink one? I can select the shape here. I don't have to redraw it anymore. I can just pull it down to the bottom of the map, and I'm kind of getting what I want instead of adding extra shapes and redrawing the shape, which would take some time to do. So I'm just gonna use my awesome manipulation tool here and pull these objects down. Clone some objects to fill in some gaps to give it that little rocky side effect that I'm doing. So I'm kind of like slanting and bending some shapes and trying to get that rock effect, as you can see here, and adding some snow in between just to, you know, kind of have that rhythm of yeah, it's snow and it's cold and it's wintry, and I kind of want to just like communicate that to the people that are going to be in this room and going to be fighting in the boss. And it doesn't seem like that's that important, but it is important to like have it like kind of consistency with the snow, and it's snowing, and I kind of wanted to keep the snow on top as well. So yeah, that's basically why I did that. Yeah, this is gonna be a really cool epic boss. I can't wait to actually get this room done. Okay, here. Push this in. I'm gonna push this in more so. Just find the arrow here. I'm just gonna slide this in. How many of you actually made castles? Or have you guys made castles? What have you actually made in your maps that you guys are proud of? What is your favorite quest map that somebody has made? All right. Okay, so yeah, the manipulation tool is actually pretty straightforward, but you know, you do have to like find your arrows in here. They will always pop up in the center of these elements here. So what I did was I actually clicked on the manipulation tool, and you want to be in edit mode when you're using the manipulation tool, because it's not going to pop up because you're not manipulating all those objects. You don't have those options quite yet. So I go ahead and I'm pressing down on the manipulation tool, and I'm selecting this large shape here, and I see that these arrows are actually highlighted here as I go over them, and you notice that the blue arrow is not highlighted. So when I go to this one, this is now it's not quite selected, but it knows that it's kind of like communicating to me that, oh, you can pull this arrow with your pointer, and you can go back and forth. But you don't want to go to the move tool and move those arrows. You just want to go to the manipulation tool to move those arrows just like so. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull those arrows out a little bit more. Yeah, and I can like really adjust these large shapes here without redrawing them. So it's quite simple here. All right. Go ahead and clone this. And I noticed that this looks really strange here, and I want to fix this area. Like, this is just too much going on here. So I'm just gonna drag this shape over. Kind of even that out just a bit. It's a very large shape that I'm using. ahead and clone this. I'm not too worried about the back area on these. Nobody's gonna see this back area, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm just focusing on what the front looks like and how that is presented. I'm gonna add a lot more houses back here, and I'm just gonna put them and shove them in the places so it looks like it's overwhelming and kind of just framing this area, as you can see. Yes. Alright, so I'm probably going to fix this right here. I'm just going to shove this down by using the manipulation tool, and I'm just highlighting over this arrow, and I'm just going to push it in there. Yeah, just like so. Try to get that nice effect there. Trying to like blend it, but not quite blend it, just so it has like that nice snow effect, kind of like coming over the mountain. Yeah, it was good. Alright, going back to my castle now. Actually, I gotta fix this one too. Shoot, I just keep finding things. Alright, I'm just gonna pull this down. I'm just gonna pretty much do the exact same thing as what I did with the other one. Just kind of like shove it in there a little bit more. Give that nice effect. Kind of like that look a lot. And I might actually do the same thing with this one. I might actually do the same thing with all of them, but I probably won't do that in this stream because that would just take forever. Let me see if I can get this to look right. I might have to tilt this a bit just to get the nice sharp little edge there so it looks more realistic, so it doesn't look too flat. Very good. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. I'm going to pull this, actually I'm not going to pull it down, I'm just going to move it. I'm going to tilt it this way this time. See if I can get that. Yeah, okay, and then I actually am going to use the manipulation tool because I don't really like how this is just hanging off like this. So I'm just going to pull this down. It's a very large object. So we have this arrow here. We're going to find this one. I'm just going to pull it down. Just like so. Okay, there it is. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to find it again. Alright, and I'll move this again. Okay, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm just going to take it off snap for a moment and then move it freely. There we go. That looks more realistic to me. And I'll probably do the exact same thing with the rest of them. Just trying to give those little edges and patches, so forth. It doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, but when someone is viewing this from this angle and looking this way, it's kind of like what I'm seeing too, but they're gonna see all of this, and I want it to look good from that angle, and I want the room to look good from this angle so that it will look really good from both directions. I don't really like how this is hanging off like this, so I'm just going to move this over, and I am still off snap, so that's okay. Just press in, and then I'm going to clone this here. I'm still off snap. I'm just shoving it in just so slightly, just to give it, I might actually add a couple more pieces to this, just to give it a little more more realistic style. I'll go in here and probably shove that in there just quite so. Alright, and then I'm just gonna put this on top and manipulate this down. Alright, how does that look? I don't like that too much. Gotta move this over. There we go. Yeah. Looks good. Looks good. Alright, we're gonna manipulate this down. I'm gonna have a lot coming down here from this castle, so I'm not too really worried about this area. But what I'm actually thinking about is like what people see here and what people will see here is what is really important about this room right now, and then what their experience would be like if they were walking across this area and all of a sudden these stairs break and they have to find their way, jump that, and then all of a sudden these stairs break. So it kind of like gives that rhythm, and maybe like something shaking and there's like noises going on, and they're walking up these steps here, and then the boss pounds down on this ground, and maybe we'll have like a couple of shapes kind of like falling off into this area, and then you have to like, oh, how do I beat this boss kind of thing going on here. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, since I made those changes, I'm going to go ahead and save real quick. So now that I saved, I just want to go back and make sure I have this frozen because I don't want to accidentally grab it. I will be messing around with these shapes quite a bit in this stream. I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Okay, so yeah, the rooms, we did Harry Manleg's room too. We were actually planning on having that be out this week, but we had a couple of difficult technical issues, so we couldn't put the item within a sub room, which was an issue. And because we're working on putting an actual item that you can wear in the sub room, it will take a couple more weeks, but the room is done. But we're just waiting on some technical issues there. Meanwhile, this room should be out probably within the next week after Harry Manlegs because of the technical issues that we're dealing with at the moment. But this room should be probably done by the end of next week completely. That's my goal. And then we'll be starting on another YouTuber's room. I won't mention his name quite yet. But we will be working on his room as well, and I will be streaming his room too. Alright, so I'm going to finish this up by going over here. Okay. Alright. Go ahead and open up this up. So what I want right here is I want to create something that kind of might be like a side castle. I might have like these kind of like these pillars here going up and trying, I don't know yet. I'm kind of like making it up as I go, but I think it'll look great. I'm just gonna do that real quick. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make this part, but I have a rough idea, kind of like in my head a little bit. So probably gonna do that, and then I'm gonna have to like make it over there as well. But I'm gonna push all these down here. Don't like these up anymore. Okay. Alright. Alright, clone. I'm gonna clone this shape here. Remove this. Oh wait, I'm not on snap. So I'm gonna go back on snap. I'm gonna go on my rotate to make sure that's back on the grid. I'm going to push this down. Now I could go to the align tool and push this down, so that way it won't go actually through the maker pen object there. I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to go to the manipulation tool and select the object and pull this object up here and move it to the side. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Alright, I'm going to clone this. Going to kind of mesh it with that. I'm not too worried about making those angles look perfect. I will be having an object that covers up that area. That's kind of like a little trick there. Like you can use just smaller objects like as frames to make things look more finished, I would say. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment here, but I'm just going to finish this up real quick. I'm going to push this down. Okay. go ahead and manipulate this area here. Manipulate this area. Head and clone. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my palette and press the cube. I want this color. So I'm actually going to make, oh, I don't want it to be, go back into settings. I have uniform shapes selected, so it was giving me a nice fix and width height. I don't really want that right now, so I'm going to deselect that. Go ahead and go back into create. I do kind of want this a little bit bigger. So I took it off Snap just to get a really nice kind of scale. If you have it on Snap and you try to scale it, it kind of like makes it a little bit bigger. It kind of like just jumps to another grid point. I didn't want that, so I deselect Snap and I just kind of like went off of that area there. So that's what I did to do that. I'm gonna go back ahead and go back on Snap. This. Okay. Clone. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to clone this area, this part. I'm probably going to push this down, actually. I'm going to make this come out. I'm going to push this up. Drag this to the fore area to give a nice trim effect. I'm going to bring this down. Bring this down. And see how that looks. I'm going to select these. I'm just going to actually just, yes. Okay, hold on. I need to make sure that these are spaced correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick. And I'm going to push that way. Touch that area, touch this area. Clone this over here. And I'm just using this as like my kind of like a ruler to make sure that I have my shapes evenly spaced, so that when you do look from this area, it doesn't look like it's not spaced correctly, because that does matter a little bit. So like we're just gonna select all these little areas here. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm gonna clone that and put that over here too. Go ahead and select this real quick and clone. Actually, I'm going to delete that real quick and deselect, and actually just delete that shape and go ahead back into selection and select these shapes and deselect the ones that I actually didn't intend to select. There. 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 Alright, so now that I have that done, I'm going to delete these spaces. And then I'm going to go back into the manipulation tool and go ahead and manipulate these a little bit more out here, a little bit more. So when we pull away, kind of have that nice castle look, and it's going to like wrap around, and it's going to fold and wrap along that line, just like so. So it kind of looks like it's a part of the mountain, and it looks like it has a lot of structure, so it looks like you could be in that building as well as in a mountain. So So I'm kind of like trying to fool the eye here, where it looks like you can be in that building, but it also looks like it's part of the mountain. All right, I'm going to take a look at my comments here real quick. I love making quests, but I don't actually have a whole lot of time to make other rooms. I can help advise by any chance. I'm more than happy to do so. So I can't promise a lot of time dedicated to helping you build a quest though, but I can advise for sure. Quests are a lot of fun, and I do challenge people to make quests. And this quest is only going to be a four room quest, and then once you go through the 4-room quest, you would enter into the credits area, and the credits area will have all the people that worked on the room with me. So anybody that added a little bit something will be added to the room credits. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy working with a big team, and it's good to learn from them, and it's really good for them to learn from me too. So it's it makes a better room, I think, when you're working with other people. And it actually helps out a lot too, like if you want to come out, make a room pretty fast. I'm not a big fan of spending months and months on a room. I just like them out. I have spent a month on a room before. Oh, I do, but I usually I like making a lot of things and a lot of different experiences in Rec Room. And I like when people use those different experiences and talk about those different experiences, because you can actually build what you can't build in real life in Rec Room, and people like your friends and family can actually enjoy those experiences. Like if I was to build a Hairy Man's Legs in real life, Hairy Man's Legs room in real life, that would cost me like probably over $1 billion. But it didn't cost me anything when I built it in here, so that's great. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, if you guys actually ever want to get started on rooms, the best way to get started on rooms is open up your watch. Go ahead and open up your watch, and then you go to like create button here, and have all these template rooms that you can just get started with. You can like take it apart, do whatever you want with it. You can like save things as inventions and bring them into other spaces. It's really easy to get started. If you don't want to create and want to do like live events, we have like a bunch of stage templates, like a theater template and a talk show template. It can help you get started with those too. And it's just a really good place to just get started with the Maker Pen if it feels overwhelming. So yeah, you can just check out those if you want to, and it's pretty simple there. Makes things a little bit more easier to get started, because once you start using the tools, you're just gonna fall in love with it. It's pretty fun to work with, and the tools are always improving, so they're always adding more stuff. We'll be seeing a lot of that this year, so that'd be great. All right, I'm just gonna shove this in here real quick. Actually, might do something a little bit different there. And clone this area. Right. Select. Ooh, that's looking good. I'm not too worried about adding a lot of detail up there. mainly because a lot of people are not going to get up and close and personal with this, but I do want it to make it look pretty grand and big and overwhelming. I want to add some big chains too, like big ice chains. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Can't wait to make those. Some big ice chains, maybe like kind of like dangling from here, or like coming down into the water, and maybe we'll have like some snow crystals hanging off of them, and then we could have like some nice chain sounds, kind of like moving back and forth, just like randomly maybe within the map, so it looks more, it feels more you know, dark. Hopefully Jade's okay with that. I know she's in the chat right now. We're hoping in about like 3 weeks or so. We're trying to figure out some technical issues with sub rooms right now, and once we get those technical issues solved, the rooms will just come out. We won't release them all at the same time. We'll release them like a week apart from each other, most likely. So it would be kind of cool to see that. Yeah, this one's gonna be a cool quest. I like making quests, so it's pretty awesome. Go back into here. Manipulate this down. Manipulate this over. Go back into cloning shape. I'm gonna clone this large one because it's pretty much of a large area. How many of you guys actually played a pretty good quest in Rec Room, and what did you guys enjoy about it? Yeah, it's a pretty big epic quest here, you guys. Look at that, it's pretty good. You won't see this view. The only view you're gonna see is like from down here. This is gonna be good. Can't wait to release this map. Yeah, and this guy, he's just gonna jump down and break everything. It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna finish this real quick. Go ahead and manipulate this up. Manipulate this over. And then I'm probably going to add another trim to this area here. I'm going to bring this trim because this is kind of like doesn't feel like it's flowing quite right. We got too many bubbles going on into this area, and I kind of need to tidy up this area a little bit. It's a little bit hodgepodge, and I just want to make sure it looks pretty fleshed out, but at the moment it's not actually doing that. So that's probably what I'm going to do next, is tidy that up, and then I'm going to reverse it and bring it to this other side. And how I'm going to reverse it is I'm going to clone it and then flip it over and then adjust some of the shapes. Experiencing a little bit of a lag issue here, so hopefully I don't end up lagging out, crashing. Okay, it might happen, so just forewarning there, you guys. Alright, go ahead and manipulate this. And just kind of like zooming out, just make sure how it looks all together. Right, clone this, fill in that gap. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my palette and use this nice little wedge here. Since I've actually used the wedge throughout the whole castle a little bit to like kind of frame and give it this alarming like direction in the in both sides, I want to bring that over onto this side. And I want to see how this looks. I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out, so I'm just going to experiment a little bit. That's the wrong color, so I have to change the color on this. So go back into recolor tool right here, go back into my palette, recolor, and I'm going to make this color. And I'm going to select that, and now it's that color. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this object here. Still looks kind of dark, but it's probably because of lighting, and that's alright. Go ahead and manipulate this up. Probably out as well. See how that looks. Alright, I'll move this over. Alright, needs to be a little bit more thicker, so I'm taking the manipulation tool and yeah, there. Looks good. Alright, go ahead and clone that object. Move that object over. Go ahead and clone it again. See that it's not aligning properly to the top part. You can see how this is just I'm trying to align it. Now there's another way you can try to do that. You can try to use the tool, just draw this object, go ahead and flip it, but rotate it, and then go ahead and just apply it to that area, to the top. Move it along here, and you can see that it's like really off, you know, and we really want this to be aligned correctly. So we're gonna go here and just place that there. Okay, place that there. Now we can go even into more detail and like adjust this ruler here. Make that there. Push that over. Sure it's line. Go. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and delete those. Actually, I'm gonna keep that. But how do you guys think? What do you guys think about it so far? I know I have to add more elements here, and I will do that right next so I can see how this is gonna look all together, and then I'll transfer that onto this side over here. So I'm gonna check my comments real quick. That's really great to know that someone is actually watching these streams and learning how to use the maker pen and how to build rooms in Rec Room, and that's really good to hear. And that's why I usually do it, because I don't usually have a lot of people in the room that I'm building in because of technical issues. Things tend to mess up, and that's time, you know, like it takes a lot of time to fix those things. So I usually don't allow more than like 10 people sitting with me And when I do a live stream, though, you know, like 100 people can sit with me and just learn how to use the maker pen, which is great. So it's good to know that this is helping you guys. And if it is helping you guys, go ahead and give the stream a cheer and, you know, comment on your experiences. That'd be great. And like what quest rooms you like, and what rooms are you guys working on? That'd be kind of cool too. I would like to see that. Alright, so I'm just gonna follow this here. I'm actually gonna delete that. Yep, it all takes time to like line these up, but when you do line them up, it does look much better than when you don't have them aligned, and there is quite a bit of a difference. So that's why I'm making sure that they're lining up properly. And I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. So what do you guys think about this? Like I'm starting to not like this too much. Let me see if it looks better if it's smaller. Yeah, I think it looks better smaller. And then I'll have like a big I want like two really large towers here. So as the players are walking along this area, they'll see the towers. They're going to start to see the towers. And maybe when they walk into that area, like something happens with those towers, like maybe a light goes on or something along the lines that kind of interaction shows that now you are approaching the boss. So when you're approaching the boss, there's like a couple of elements that kind of forewarns you that the boss has been alerted and now is going to smash through the floor. I would like to see the boss smash through the floor. I think that'd be so cool. You can eventually select multiple objects and manipulate. We do not have that option at the moment, but it is in the pipeline. So it will happen one day. I can't tell you when though, but it will happen one day. So it's going to be great when it does. Okay. Just trying to make all these even. This is just a really nice fast way of making sure that your objects are aligning properly, so that your viewers don't see like things going up and down and they don't seem like they are not lining properly. So so there's more care in the work, or it seems that way. Okay. It's kind of what you want anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and clone this area. I'm gonna see how this looks here. And once I'm done too, like I'm gonna make all of this decorational. The castle here will be this part of the castle. I'm going to split this and make this environmental, but the rest of it I'm going to have it as decorational, so it saves me a lot more space in the room. So all these elements are going to be like decorational, because no one's going to interact with them, so there's no reason why they can't be decorational. These mountains will also be decorational, but these mountains over here, I'm going to split them from their original object group, and these ones will be environmental, so the players can't interact with these. Yes, but I will have a trigger zone along down here so that if they fall, they get spawned back to the center point. So that's pretty good. Alright, I'll go ahead and finish this up here. It's not working out very well. Let's see what this looks like. Not really liking how that is looking actually, so I'm just going to remove this. Yeah, see what I do is like I add a couple things and I figure well, do I like it or do I not like it? And I didn't like it, so I removed it. I do get inspired from things I look up, but most of the time I just like building it on my own because I really like just designing stuff. So I kind of just build things on my own. So there we go. Looks a little bit better, but you can see like this indentation here. It kind of has some nice element. So making it curve like that, like angled like that, kind of gives it more effect instead of that straight edge. So I'm going to see how this looks when I bring this on to the other side. They'll determine whether I like it or not. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. I don't really like how this edge is looking, so I might actually add something to that. I don't know how this is going to look, but I'll figure it. Let's go back into white. Move this over and push this down, angle it, maybe angle it more. And then I'm probably going to scale this by deselecting snap here, and then I'm scaling it. Oop, I don't want to scale that object, I want to scale this object. And I'm putting back on snap, putting it on move. Trying to give that look there. Maybe there's something I can add here. Let's see if a cylinder would work. Bringing on a cylinder, going into settings and putting it on uniform shapes here. Going back into colors, I might want it blue. So I'm going to draw out the cylinder, and the reason why I have it on uniform shapes here is because it gives me a nice fix in height width, so I know it's a complete circle. So I'm going to go back into the manipulation tool, and I'm going to select on this object, and I can move this object up and down. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. Back into my colors, I did not select the right color, so I'm going to go back into recoloring here and selecting the lighter blue and selecting. Alright, so I'm going to move this over. Alright. And I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger, but I'm going to snap, deselect snap, and then go into scale. So I'm scaling this up, go back into manipulation, and pulling the shape up with the manipulation tool. See how that will kind of cover that edge. I actually like that a lot better than what I was working with, so I'm going to go ahead and delete the other object. So now that I deleted that, that actually looks a lot better. So I'm probably going to try to keep these aligned here and probably push that to that side. Gives it like a really nice design there. Yep. So what I'm going to do also, then I have that, I'm going to go ahead and clone this object here. And then I want to straighten this out. Oops, I'm not on snap, so I just definitely want to click back on snap. So now it's back on the grid. I'm going to go back into manipulation tool and manipulate it upwards. There we go. And then going back into deselecting snap and scaling again. Alright, so now that I have done that, I'm going to go back into snapping again and moving this object to the side. Pushing it down. And maybe I could have the chains like, you know, dangling from there. That'd be kind of cool, right? Or maybe that's just too high. It's probably best to have the chains dangle from this direction. This might be way too high, overdone. So I'm going to go ahead and move this down. And I'm going to scale this again, deselecting snap. There we go. And moving it on snap, pushing it in, giving a really nice column look there. Moving out. Going back to the original, making sure that this is correct. I kind of want this to be a little bit bigger. Checking my sides here, making sure that they align correctly. Ooh, it's going to be really cool to see what this will look like. I'm going to experiment a little bit here. And then, yeah, give me a second here. Oh, am I on Snap? I'm not on Snap. Okay, being on Snap is important. Alright, I'm deselecting Snap, scaling, manipulating down. And then I'm going to add block. I kind of want this to be gray. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to try to make a flag here. See what this looks like when I move it into the center and I'm not on Snap again. Let's see what this looks like. Oh no, that does not look good. Alright, I don't like that. So we're not going to do that. Maybe I'll do a pyramid instead. Alright, so since we're doing a pyramid, I definitely want to be on, definitely want to go to my settings and make sure I'm on uniform shapes to make that pyramid really good on both sides. I don't really care about how big I want it. I can manipulate it out. So I'm going to go back and push this in here. I'm not on Snap, but there we go. Making sure I'm back on Snap. I'm going to go ahead and scale this to this width. And then go ahead and manipulate this up. I'm going to push this up a bit by going into Snap. I'm on Snap. Okay, good. Push this up a little bit more. Manipulate this up. Manipulate. Oh, I need definitely. Maybe I'll bring this down a little bit more. And scale just so slightly. And then making this, recolor this. Let's try this white. Don't like that. Let's try it blue. It's not aligned quite right yet. So we definitely want to make it align better. It's not in the center here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and scale it again. Go back into move and put it on Snap. Go back and center it. Alright, it's not quite centered. I think I want to make it bigger. Definitely gonna make it bigger. Scale. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna scale it again. I'm going ahead and push that up. I'm going ahead and rotate this object. I'm gonna go and push it to the side there. I might scale it just so slightly down. Taking it off Snap and scaling it down a little bit more. And then going in back into Snap and moving it down. Alright, and then I'm going to try this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and clone this object and clone. And then I'm going to rotate. Okay. Now that I rotated this object, oops, grabbing the wrong, oh no. Okay, kind of want to keep these points kind of nice and tight here. Alright. How does that look? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and back and go into selection, select these two shapes, and move it over. Let me see what that looks like. Looks so uneven. Alright, go ahead and select it again, and move it over again. Probably going to push this in a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and select these shapes again and push it in more. I think it's good. Alright, what do you guys think about that? I'm going to take a look at my comments. The pirate ship came up. Oh man. Hi Clarity, it's nice to see you. Actually, Clarity actually built this object here. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but Grandpa did a lot of these little structures in here. He's the one that made the haunted room. That's pretty good. We had Pan Knight and Mortimer built some of the he built some of the other structures, like behind the scenes structures, just to get started in the room. And Mortimer is actually doing a lot of the circuit work. He did a lot of circuit work also in Harry Manlake's rooms too. So he did a great job. He's doing a great job. So they're all doing a great job. And we're gonna have a couple of other people working on some the other rooms, but I'll go into that in the next stream when I stream next week. But I can always spawn the pirate ship. Hold on, just give me a second, guys. Go back into here. Inventions. I have the pirate ship in here. Oh. Alright. For you guys' amusement. Pirate ship. Yep. As an invention, you guys. I'm gonna delete that now. And take a look at my comments. Yep, you got a flash of the old pirate ship. I love inventions. They're great. We'll have permissions on inventions shortly, so all the invention stealing will go away. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and select this item. Actually, I'm going to delete this. I didn't select everything properly, so I'm going to go ahead and select this. That looks good. Kind of like those little pointers. I might continue those. So I'm going to go ahead and select this whole column here. It's not quite aligned correctly, and we want to make sure it's aligned correctly. So I noticed that what I'm doing right now is my eye is gravitating to this point here and to this point, and I'm following this line here. So I definitely want this distance. So I'm trying to determine that with this. So I'm getting pretty close here, as you can see, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'm going ahead and push that up just a little bit like so. And when checking, it's too far up. Do it a little more. Now, originally, I would probably just do draw a little line here, and I could do that, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm feeling a little lazy about it. Okay, there we go. Now that I'm doing this, I don't like this, so I'm gonna push this a little more in. Like so. I could probably use a wedge for this. It would probably be best if I used a wedge. But that's still looking pretty good there, you guys. Looking pretty good. That castle's looking pretty good. I like the contrast between the two levels. So we have not only contrast between color and shape, but we have contrast between levels. So we have this first level and then this first level. So as you're moving, you can see that the background is actually moving in the back. And this is going to, it's kind of separated, kind of creating some depth here. And as we continue this along this line here, it will look like a wall. And then we could probably put some cannons up there, or some kind of like tool or something that might relate to the soldier, and maybe he can use those. Now I'm kind of like just making things up on the whim. Might not do this, but I'm just making things up on the whim right here. So like we could just like have something shooting from the wall, and maybe, I don't know. I'll probably talk to Jade about it, but and Mortimer and Pin Knight coming up with a strategy there. But that'd be kind of cool to see. So the artwork is more than just, you know, something. Maybe it's like you can see it. But we also have to make this this quest work for Screen Mode players too. So that's a challenge that we have to think about. So if it doesn't work for Screen Mode players, then we will not build that. So it has to work for Screen Mode players. I'm going to take a look at my comments real quick. Great. So what I'm doing is I'm building rooms for our awesome YouTubers that are streaming Rec Room, because they brought a lot of people to Rec Room and a lot of people watch their streams, and it's basically a thank you to them and their followers. So this one right now is for Jade. We're making her a quest, and once you end the quest, you'll actually get an item that you can wear in the game. That's the same thing what we did with Harry Manlegs. We just finished his room, but it won't be releasing for like about maybe another 2 weeks. It depends on how that goes. It's just some technical issues with subrooms. So once we figure that out, that will be released, and so will this room. So that's exciting. I'm gonna take a look at my comments. This is great. Okay, so this is awesome. Great. I'm glad you guys are learning a lot, and I'm so happy you guys are actually spending the time to take time out of your day to watch the stream and learn more about the Maker Pen and what you can do with the Maker Pen. And feel free to ask me any questions, or if you want to be inspired about making a room or challenged about making a room. I do challenge you guys to make quests. It will be so great to see more quests in Rec Room that people are making. So if you guys want to make a quest, go for it. Like, team up. You can team up in this chat and start, you know, creating a quest. And it doesn't have to be like a huge quest. It can be like just 2 rooms or just 1 room, so it won't take up too much of your time. But like it's pretty intense when we see quests. It's really awesome. I want to see more of those. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this here. I should make like a Meriesa challenge, right? So let's do the Meriesa challenge and make a quest. And like maybe we can like tag me in it, and maybe we can like get something started. I might talk to the devs about that. Call it the challenge. I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. I'm a little bit kidding though, but yeah, you can still make holograms. You can even make holograms really, really big too. It's pretty cool. I'll show you an example real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and go into done editing and make sure I freeze that, because since I am pulling out a holotar here. I'm gonna go into my gadgets, go into I'm not gonna find that, props, holotar. Go ahead and click that. I'm going to Actually, I want to do it on this side. Go. Alright, there we go. Oh wait, whoops, canceled that. Alright, this is, you know, a holotar, and I'm going to expand this holotar. Go ahead and cancel that. Alright, this is, you know, a holotar. So, go ahead and say that and scale this up real quick. Alright, I don't want to get it off snap. Alright, now the holotar is scaled up. Push it here. Alright. Alright, this is, you know, pretty big holotar. Pretty big holotar. It's pretty cool when people blow those up. So, there you guys go. Big holotars. Awesome. I think they'll be great for, like, a movie theater or something like that. It'd be kind of cool. Unfreeze this and go back into edit. Take a look at my comments real quick. He just might. He might get a room, guys. He might get a room. Yeah, you can create your own quest right now. Well, I guess you have to get back on Rec Room to play and create quests. It's really cool to actually create quests in Rec Room. It's fun. Oh no, not that meme again. Yeah, and it's good to see a lot of people creating quests too, because a lot of good ones. Fandoran just came out with a pretty awesome quest lately. It's up on the hot list right now. It's pretty epic, actually. It's more than epic. It's more than epic. It's pretty legit. And he's actually the one that came up with the Maker Pen PvP, which is, a lot of people think that it's not a very good room, but in a way it is, because it gets newer players to actually play and use the Maker Pen to get them to actually involved in the new tools in the Maker Pen. Even it's just so simple and fun and weird, but it actually drives people to actually use the Maker Pen, which is really cool in some ways. Yeah. Might make my own Maker Pen PvP. Smart. Alright. Finishing this up. Making sure that this is aligned correctly by using my rulers. I'm not going to keep these lines here, but I'm just using them as my rulers, as my guides, to make sure that everything looks pretty good. As you can see here, it looks really nice there. Now I can show you another technique. A lot of people want to create lots of bricks to like create like a brick wall or anything, but what you can do is just to save space, you can go into your shapes and go into cube. I'm gonna go back into settings and probably put it at 10 centimeters. I'm gonna go. Oh, I definitely want to get off of that setting there, so I'm gonna go ahead and back into create, settings, uniform shapes, deselected, and there we go. Now I'm gonna keep these blue at the moment because I want you guys to really see what I'm doing here. It's kind of like a neat little trick from that I learned from reading comic books, actually. So like go and you can just make these really nice little brick areas, and it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it still communicates to people who are playing your game that this is like a really nice art piece that is a brick wall. So it's kind of, you can just randomly shove them in there. So as you can see, it kind of looks like bricks, and they're kind of small for this size of a wall, so I would recommend scaling these, actually. Go ahead and scale. Oh wait, I'm cloning. I'm not scaling. Shoot. I definitely don't want to clone that. Go back into, I just select a couple here and go into scale. Yeah. As you can see, like it looks like that. So, but like if I made it white, let's go back into white and recolor. You can learn a lot from comic books, actually. Art styles and how to simplify things and get those kind of like those interesting elements that communicate well, but they don't take up a lot of space. So it's pretty good. Go ahead and scale this up real quick. Yeah. Doesn't look like a whole lot there, but you can notice that it does add some kind of like element of brick. I'm not gonna put, I might keep it there, I don't know. But I just wanted to show you like how people can do this. But pretty soon we will be able to select items and manipulate them together. That will happen. I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. Yeah, building on screen mode is a little bit hard. At the moment, they will be improving later on slowly just to make sure that the tools work correctly for VR players, so that we make sure that they also work correctly for screen mode players, because the interaction is actually quite different. So when that comes around, it slowly will progress, and it is always progressing. So if you think that it's difficult now, it won't be in like a few weeks or a month or so. It does. It's just about like testing things and making sure like things are working properly for the most part for everyone. So we don't have like a whole bunch of people like, oh, it's working for us, but it's not working for us, and then priorities that So like I said, like the game's always changing and always evolving, so there's always room for growth here. This is a little strange. Okay, no, that's right. Go ahead and make sure that these are aligning properly. It's not. Alright. Okay. Go. That's looking pretty good, guys. I'm really like, and I know it's taking me some time to actually do this, but I'm actually, this is just all made up here, but I just want to make sure that this is gonna look good, and it is looking good. So I'm going to keep this for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, but I do need to do something about this area here because I don't really like that ledge there. I'm gonna take it off snap. There we go. Maybe that looks a little bit better. Yeah. I am a very detailed, heavy person, so I gotta be careful about how many details I'm putting into things. Usually I'll put a lot of detail in and I'll cut it out later. Just so that, like, I'll lay it. Let's see if I can keep it. But sometimes I can't keep it, so I guess, like, okay, I guess I'll get rid of it. Oh my goodness. Let me know if anybody in this chat here that's watching me streaming has actually made a quest before, because I would like to go visit that at some point. Yeah. Okay, so just go ahead. Oh, see, like, I realized that I wasn't on snap because I can move the shape really freely. It's not like kind of like pushing me onto a grid here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my maker pen and put it on snap, and then rotate this to get it back on the grid. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and push that down. What time is it? Okay. Alright. Looks pretty good there. Okay, so I'm gonna see what it will look like if I added a tower. So I'm gonna try to add a tower here. I'm gonna go ahead and select this area here. Go ahead and clone this, since I've already made this object. And I'm going to scale this up pretty large here. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move this. Make sure I'm on snap. Kind of want to push this in the wall here. See what this looks like. I'm probably gonna make this tower a little bit different. I'm gonna deselect that and see what this looks like when I come across here. I'm always making sure like what are my viewers are seeing when they approach this room. This is looking pretty epic here. I can't wait to get this on the other side. You know, it's a little bit too close to the mountain there, so I'm just gonna head and push that more over to the side over here and see what this looks like. Okay. Too bad we can't have glowing effects yet, guys. Oh man, I want glowing colors so bad. We can cheat glowing colors. Not in non-custom apps though. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Let's see. Kind of like where that is going. I like where that is placed, but what the issue is that we're ending our wall here, and we want to continue the wall. So we might want to see about kind of creating another element. I'm just gonna throw something out there real quick. I'm just gonna grab a wedge here. I'm just gonna see what this looks like. So I'm just experimenting real quick here. I'm gonna manipulate this. Yes, I love this tool so much. I can't actually say how much I just love this tool. I don't know how I lived without it, honestly. I just don't know. I just don't know how I survived. Alright, Dan is one of our awesome devs, and he's the one that came up with this concept here, and I can thank him every single day for this. Alright, I'm just gonna move this over just a little bit, just like so. See what that looks like. And this is just a test. I'm just testing out right now. I'm not necessarily gonna keep this. Move this back. That looks pretty good there. It's looking, that's kind of the slope that I'm looking for. This is not necessarily the proper shape for this. It could be a nice little backdrop though. I'm just gonna move this up. And I'm probably gonna make this white color. Let's do a recolor of white. That's a little bit too flat, honestly. Yeah. Okay, so, well, just because it's a little bit too flat doesn't mean anything. So, what we can do is just go ahead and freeze that. Oh, shoot. Well, guess what, guys? I just accidentally recolored the whole thing. That sucks a lot, because now I have a huge white castle, and I don't want to go back and recoloring it. I've done this too often. So, what happened was I already had recolor selected, so it was continuing to be on recolor, and I froze it, but it kept on, because it was selected on color still, it recolored the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I go undo recolor shapes, Glad we have the undo button, right? That would have been bad. I would not have been appreciated that too much. I've done that mistake too many times. Probably just like, I'm done. But we have the undo button, so that's really nice. What I'm going to do is go back into create and to make sure that I'm not selecting that anymore. Go back into done editing, selecting freeze, and freezing that. So I do think that's kind of a bug, actually. I don't think recolor should have been selected once frozen. So those two selections there is a little bit of a bug there. But I'm going to check my comments real quick. Right. I can't agree more, you guys. I can't agree more. Okay. Back to work, guys. All right. So now that's looking pretty good there. Right. I'm gonna go back into these slopes here. I'm gonna try to bring them over to the castle a little bit more, and see if I can make that mountain kind of effect. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze this. So now it's telling me it's unfrozen. I'm going to go ahead and edit this area so I can get into these individual layers. I'm going to go ahead and select those individual layers. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of this, but I kind of want some angles. So I'm grabbing some nice terrain here that has some pretty good heavy angle motion to them. So there we go. That's what I want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clone this. Yeah, it's a little bit big. That's okay. Let's see if I can shove this into this area here. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to scale this a little bit down. Move this on the snap tool here. Alright, bring this out. It's like so. See what that looks like. Looking pretty good there. I'm going to move this though. I don't like how this is looking now. I'm probably gonna smush this in here. Let's see what this looks like. And clone this top part. Have it in there. Just gonna see what this looks like here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this though, but alright. Go ahead and select this. I'm gonna push that back. I like this, guys. This is not winning me. Alright, I'm not liking that. So I'm just gonna get rid of that real quick here. See if this would work better. Select. No, I don't like that. So we're not doing that. It's not working. So, the reason why it wasn't working is because I had a very large object going against this object, and it wasn't placed in a way to give a nice kind of contrast. It wasn't contrasting between the size of the shapes very well. So it was a little bit large for this tower here, and it wasn't working because they were too similar with the same shape. So they weren't necessarily meshing well with this too much. So what happened was the shapes were too similar and didn't have enough contrast between them to give them enough depth. So why it wasn't working. But we can move around that by probably using smaller shapes and lower to the bottom, so like it doesn't conflict with this shape, and it doesn't conflict with this shape, and it doesn't conflict with this shape. All right, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna take a look at my comments real quick. All right, guys. Yeah, so go ahead. I'm going and probably, is that a black? That is a black. All right. Let's see if this works real quick here. Alright, let's see what that looks like. That looks a little bit better. Push this over here. Okay. And then I want to make this smaller. The reason why I want to make this smaller is because the shapes are too similar to each other, so it's best to have different sizes. Make that a little bit more smaller. See what this looks like. I might want to angle this down a little bit more here. More angle. That does look a lot better, actually. I might want to add some snow effects in here. Okay, I'm going to take this off snap real quick. Alright, I'm going to grab something from over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. that looks much better, you guys, from what I was doing, and that's mainly because of the issues that I was dealing with. The two shapes were too similar to each other, and I didn't have enough contrast between them, and that's why it wasn't working. Now it's working a lot better because it's not overpowering the mountain. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my comments here real quick. Alright, so did you guys have any questions about the maker pen or any of the tools that you guys would like me to go over? Because I'm going to end the stream really pretty soon here. I will be, before I do in the stream, I'm probably going to go through the first level of Jade's room, and the reason I'm going to go over like the reason why we're making these. So once again, and I'm sorry if you've been on the stream and you've heard this already, but we have some new people here now. So the reason why we're building these rooms they're for our YouTubers, and they're for our YouTubers, and their stream is like helping the game. So as they're streaming the game, it's helping the game, and their followers are part of their community and part of our community, and we really want to show some appreciation to our streamers that stream Rec Room. So we're making custom rooms for them, and we've already made a custom rooms for Hairy Man Legs, and that should be coming out within the next 2 weeks due to technical issues. And then we'll also have this room come out a week after that, probably. Each custom map quest will have a custom item that you can wear within the game. So once you complete the quest or puzzles within each YouTuber map, you will actually get a custom item that they actually ask the devs to create for them. So you could only get it once you completed the map. So you'll actually be able to wear it in game, and it's basically something that they want to share to their followers, and something that we want to appreciate them with. So yeah, that's why we're making these rooms, and we hope that you guys will enjoy the quests, and I'm enjoying making them, and I'm making them with quite a big team, and it's pretty awesome to actually see and be around other creators and working with other creators within Rec Room. So I'm gonna take a look at my comments here. Yeah, so we are actually building a quest here for JadeKVR, because she has like a pretty good large following of Rec Roomers that like to watch her streams. And I'm mainly building this with a team. In this room, though, we had Pan Knight, Mortimer, and Clarity and Grandpa's work in this room. So Clarity built this, and this is going to be our mini boss. Grandpa built these small little elements here, these little architectures that were taken from another room that's a part of this room, so it's carried over to this room. I built most of the landscape, and Pan Knight helped me build some of that landscape. So pretty good stuff. Meriesa is going to be doing a lot of the circuit work. He did a lot of the circuit work for Hairy Man Lakes. He did a great job. And he will continue to do that in this room as well. So it's pretty epic. They're a pretty epic group, and I can't say how much I appreciate working with such talented people in Rec Room. I hope you guys really enjoyed this quest. I am going to end the live stream pretty soon here, and I'm probably going to take you to the next room. I really want you guys to see the first level. I haven't been able to share that with you, and I really want to share that with you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, I'm going to save first before leaving this room. Definitely should save first. Okay, this room, go ahead and save. Alright, I just saved that room. Okay, I'm going to go back into create. Go back into my rooms. And go to the Quest of the Jade. Quest of the Jade. Quest of the Jade. Aha! Here it is. I'm going to info, go into setup, go into subrooms, and we have Quest of the Jade and level 2. So I'm going to go here. So this is going to be the first level of Rec Room, but I do apologize. It took me a little bit long to load into this room. Okay, so this is the very first level. We're not quite completely done with this. We're gonna actually have a London bus here, and it's gonna basically be the story of you just got off the London bus, some random place in some universe, and you're gonna be walking across, and you have to try to find a puzzle to unlock the door. So this is the main part, the first part of the level for Jade. Got some stuff in here. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Grandpa did a lot of work with the props here. So you're gonna come out, and that's the old castle I built. I'm building a new castle now. I didn't really like this one. And you can see like a lot of the meadows and stuff kind of fogging up the area. But you can see that we have a trigger zone. Panite and Mortimer help set that up. Go ahead and what we're going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. But, you know, for my awesome people that are watching, you're just going to see how to complete this little level here. Go ahead and got to find this key here. Oh, wait. I grabbed them. It's not frozen yet. Oh, wait. It's frozen. Come on. Go ahead and freeze this. Alright. I think... I'm not sure if we're supposed to find more keys, or if it's just the one. But yeah. Anyways. More structures in here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and place this on this block. Aha. So this is going to happen. We need some good sound effects. That's for sure. Definitely need some good sound effects. And then... Oh, 8x8! What's up? I was just showing. I'm streaming at the moment, just so you know. Alright, so a door will pop up. And you would be able to go to the next level with this door. This is really cool. Look at this. This is all paint night right here. Oh, he left. Okay. He knows I'm streaming. Okay. So like this is you know, kind of the cool stuff about this room. So you guys haven't seen this room at all yet. So this is pretty cool. Start here, walk along here, and we're probably gonna have some like a little more keys. We'll probably place out through this area. I'm gonna put a little more structures up actually. It's more structures. And then as we're walking along this path, we're gonna see that weird area over there and like, what's going on? What do we do? So I probably need to add some little more direction to tell them that, oh, you need to find a key or something. But there was some sound effects, so I think he was like kind of working with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my comments here. Great. Okay, awesome, guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know what those questions are. I don't know what Panite was doing in here, so I'm afraid to leave and save. Hold on. Let me try to find that. Alright, I might have to talk to him. Okay. I don't know what he was working on, so he might have been working on something, and I came in, you know, unfroze the key and showed everybody that. But, no, probably... Oh, wait, that has a respawn. Is there a respawn? Oh, yeah, great. No, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I can save this room. I will save it, just in case Pan Knight was working on something. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now and go to this room. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Alright, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and answer them now, because I'm going to take my leave and go ahead and start working on some more stuff here. Oh, hey Pan Knight. Oh, you don't want me to save? Okay, well I did save. But we can restore. It's fine. Okay, great. Okay. Just give me a second here. Okay. Okay, so how do you make something natural? Well, the way to make something natural is just such as these rocks here. You can see that when I take them apart, go ahead and unfreeze this. Unfrozen, okay? And go ahead and go into edit, and I can touch these individual layers here. So the best way is, like, I usually work off snap when I'm trying to make something look natural. And the reason why I do that is because you can see this object here. I want to, like, place it in next to each other, like angle them so slightly as to mesh them within the groups, but keep enough dimension between these two shapes, and like try to angle them and like mesh them. But I work off snap to do that, so I can get all those, because when you're using the snap tool, it makes it look more structure, and snap is really good for the structure part. But if you're going to use want to be more natural, it's best to work off a snap. So you see that, and like make these kind of like angles go in between these shapes here, as you can see, as it morphs into this shape, kind of slantly, giving two different angles. And that's how you make things look more natural. So if that's what you were wondering, that's how you do it. Hopefully that answered your question. I can go into more detail if you like. Alright, great. Alright guys, I'm going to take off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys really like the stream, go ahead and like it. I will be making it public shortly after I end the stream. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for asking questions. And if you guys want me to look at any rooms, go ahead and put those in the chat, and I'll go ahead and check those out. I will be making the stream live. I'm not live, but I will be making it public shortly. And thank you, Jade, for joining, and Clarity, who's one of our creators, joining. And Penite just popped into the room, and he's doing a great job. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the stream. Alright, see you guys. Have a good one.